Hey, good evening. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. This is precisely what I'd love to help people do. Keep some of your money. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope that this audio video, as always, finds everybody doing well. And if you are brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a veteran viewer slash listener here, a sincere and humble thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're just dropping by to say hello, hello, hope one day you come back and stick around. I'm so glad that you're here tonight. You know, I did a little bit of math recently. Now, the whole show is not going to be about math, but recently I found on sale a really, really good product. Let's say that I got it on a platform that begins with letter A. I'm not affiliated with them, so anyway, they have a really, really good yogurt under their own brand. And it's a Greek yogurt, and I buy the 32-ounce size. I used to buy smaller yogurts, really on the expensive side. I said, why am I spending so much money on yogurt? I'm not saying that yogurt can't get expensive. Yes, it actually could if you're not careful. But I did the math. Here's where a little bit of basic math came in handy. Now, the store size, I'll call it store brand size, is 32 ounces of vanilla Greek yogurt. Delicious. I can't tell you how really, really good it is. They also sell the plain. Okay, now I was paying close to $2.69 on average per 8 ounces of a higher end yogurt, as they call higher end. I'm not saying it ain't delicious. Ain't, and I hate the word ain't, isn't, even though ain't is still acceptable today in the Webster Dictionary. But when I was growing up, if your teacher ever heard you say ain't, anyway, so that ain't slipped out. But normally I really don't say it. But seriously, I really refuse to, from henceforth on, this moment on, I'm not going to pay $2.69 for one little yogurt. I would consider it a total treat. Here's what I did as an experiment. I conducted an experiment. I had washed out and kept those other higher end yogurts, if you will, emptied the containers, washed them out, and put them away for repurposing. And then the light bulb went off on me. I said, wait a minute, I want to see something. So when I got the brand new 32-ounce Greek yogurt, vanilla, I filled up 4 of the higher end that cost me $2.69 each. The yogurt that I got was around $3 for 32 ounces. Hello. I got 4 containers out of the $3 32-ounce container. Yeah. So you might rethink things and get store size, okay? Store brand size at the 32-ounce level and do a price comparison. That is a tremendous savings. And I don't know about you, but I'll take any savings at this point because of, tightening our belts. Anyway, next, a box of Barilla spaghetti yields a ton, especially for me. Number one, what I do with long pasta, you see, long pasta in a way has its own advantage. You can literally break that pasta in half and have a normal looking plate of spaghetti. Just saying. Why would you break it in half? It gives you more chances to make meals, okay? You don't need, in my opinion, the original very, 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 very long size. The half size in your bowl looks and appears as if, well, what's the purpose of breaking it in half? It's almost like you're doubling your use. You actually are. Now, in my case, I take a quarter of a box, I break it in half, and I get 2 nights meals. This is just per person. So you might want to do the math that way. And they're generous sizes. So you feel to figure it out this way. Per person, 1/4 of a box. You eyeball it. Again, this is where math comes in a little bit handy. In a way, this is sort of mathematical. Now, here's what I do when I want to make slow cooker meatballs, by which I am literally going to be making tomorrow. You're listening to this on a Saturday evening, and my intention is to make slow cooker meatballs on Sunday. So when I do the slow cooker version, which by the way is a nice thing to do, I set it up bright and early on my Sunday morning, and I let it sit there on high for 3 hours. It is a no fail recipe. I just make my meatballs as usual. I put in an 8-ounce can of tomato sauce. You could doctor up the flavor, or you could use about 8 ounces of your jar sauce, whatever you want, whatever you prefer. But that's what I do. But here's what else I do. Because I am using the same slow cooker, it is going to cost me the same amount of electricity and the same amount of time. What I like to do is also add a can of drained string beans or green beans to that. Green beans and sauce or string beans and sauce, tomato sauce tastes really, really good. So that with the meatballs, you got a little vegetable and you got your meatballs. Now, you could bump it up another level. You can take, for example, that pre-cooked rice, that one, you could put that in just the way it is. You could try it out, or if you prefer making it separate so that way it's 100% cooked to the texture you enjoy. And you could add that, placing some meatballs on top of a bed of rice with the tomato sauce and the string beans. You have yourself a complete meal. If you enter the rice or add that rice about 30 minutes into it, like I would say, I would put a cup. In my case, I would put a cup. The whole thing yields so very much. Making sure there's enough fluid in there, enough of the gravy or the sauce that the rice can absorb it too. If you need to, maybe add maybe a quarter to a half a cup of water to make sure that the rice can, eat up the water so that it reconstitutes to the texture of which you enjoy. But this is a one-pot meal on the cheap. One pot to clean up, one appliance used, a lot less electricity, zero heat in the kitchen, zero. Now, it all depends. Now, some people are squeamish about putting uncooked meat into the sauce, and if you just do it that way, it will be fine. You can totally. How did I learn that lesson? I learned that lesson when the whole building's gas was out. No gas stove. We lived without a gas stove a couple of years, the whole building. I had to learn a lot of tips and tricks about slow cooker, which is another reason why I love a slow cooker so much. Just saying. So try to accommodate by using the one pot method. Even in the summer, you could do a one pot. Anyone that doesn't appreciate slow cooking in the summer without it throwing off heat for pennies on the dollar, I just, to me, it's just baffling. It's baffling to me. But everyone's different, and to each their own. So here's another trick. This is in reference to yogurt. So one day I felt ice cream cone deprived. You see those ads on TV or a picture or a magazine, you see people eating ice cream cone. To me, the whole fun of the cone is the cone itself. So I happen to I had that hankering, so I got a little box. Those little cones you buy in the grocery store, the short one. So I decided to do instead, I put Greek yogurt inside the cone. I put Greek yogurt inside the cone, and I made my topping. I topped it off with a little bit of wheat germ to give it that texture. If you want to really go a little more exotic about it, you could put a little bunch of chocolate sprinkles on the top, or whatever topping you'd like to do. And it just gave me the effect of eating a melting ice cream cone. Now, there is a little technique. You better make sure you have a napkin holding under it because it could get slightly messy. But it was the idea of the melty feel, and it's a healthier version, and you still have the crispy little cone going on as a bit of a cute little summer treat. And I just thought I'd mention to you that I did that. It was fun. Okay, now, this is why I always really appreciate to have pre-made some, those crumbles of beef, when you buy ground beef. Great idea. When you first get the beef, don't even bother to freeze it yet. Don't even bother. Just do your ground beef crumbles, brown them, cook them till brown, drain the fat, let it cool down completely, make a bunch of packages of those ground beef crumbles, throw them in the freezer, and you will already have saved a bunch of time, effort, energy, and a ton of mess. I'm telling you. So one day I had some macaroni and cheese. I said, I want to bump this up a little bit, but what am I going to do? So, So that morning, I knew I was doing the mac and cheese at night. So that morning, I took down the ground beef crumbles. They were thawed out. All I had to do is heat the whole thing up into my mac and cheese. One, two, three, like in a matter of a couple of minutes. I had my mac and cheese with beef. It was really, really good. And you could do so many things with that. That I could get into on another show. Here's another idea, especially really refreshing in the summer. Cut up, some, you could freeze some chunks of seedless watermelon or some cantaloupe or some honeydew melon for a refreshing treat on a hot summer night. That's really good. I love frozen melon. It just tastes so good. It's just a nice texture. It's very refreshing. It's low in calories, and it's good for you. You got to have some fruit. Another thing that I would recommend is to cook earlier in the day. Cook earlier in the day before it gets too hot and everything. Then all you have to do is either assemble or reheat whatever thing you're going to have that evening. Because in the summer, most people feel a little more drained, a little more tired towards the end of the day. You're just like most of us aren't interested in, elaborate cooking. In my opinion, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, at least in my experience, let's put it that way. Next, hard-boiled eggs. There's something to be said about boiling up whatever amount you want or need for your family of one or more than one, a bunch of hard-boiled eggs, let's say on a Sunday, keeping them refrigerated, but knowing that you're going to use them up during the week. Here are some suggestions. You could have a grab-and-go breakfast just like that. You don't feel like cooking breakfast, get your hard-boiled egg, put a little pinch of salt and pepper on it, and you just eat it as is for a quick protein breakfast. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Or if you want to make during the week, you just take out your hard-boiled eggs, chop them up, turn it into an egg salad or deviled eggs. 1, 2, 3, no big deal. You could do that in a hurry. And it's so inexpensive. It's just such a quick, simple solution to meals and to getting protein in a hurry, and definitely very budget friendly. So I highly recommend that. Next, always keep in mind to get or save a bag of potato chips or one of those canned chips. There's nothing like a bunch of chips. I mean it, a bunch of chips and a couple of dill pickle spears on the side if you make a sandwich dinner. 1, 2, 3, paper plate, quick sandwich, pickle spear, chips. You are good to go. Makes a great lunch or it makes a great fast dinner. And this sounds really silly, but it works. Act like a kid again and purchase some good quality bologna. My personal favorite would be the beef, and I like it thinly cut. Throw that together. You could either fry it or you could just make a sandwich, slap the sandwich together with some cheese and a little mustard on there, and you just have something real quick and easy. Team that up with the chips and the pickle spear. You cannot go wrong. All on a budget. I just thought I'd share some really good ideas with you. They have been tried and true and worked for me. So in my opinion, they are no fail. Hey, listen, till the next time, take good care. Have an amazing, amazing day. Bye-bye.